what's up? It's Dave. I am by myself. This is weird. So today I am here to unbox the Storm Collectibles Jushin Thunder Liger figure that I picked up from Ringside Collectibles. Here he is. Here is the legend. The recently retired Jushin Thunder Liger. You can see here on the back there is the New Japan Pro Wrestling logo. It's also on the front here in the corner. And on the back you get some posable recommendations. On the front, cool figure. Cool picture of Liger. On the back also you have some stats about him. So this is pretty great. I was very much looking forward to this figure. Ages 15 and up. And I also have a couple of, well, one specific Elite WWE figure just to be able to show you some scaling. And we'll actually be able to see what that looks like in a little bit. So just one piece of tape that was sealed that I got at the top. Looks like it is wrapped in plastic, but out we go. Really neat card in the back, just as a background. Jushin Thunder Liger. Not something I'll wind up keeping probably, but here we go. So he is wrapped in a little bit of plastic. We'll get that off. And it's really just to keep the pieces in. Like so. We have grand total of 10 hands. 10 different hands. Now, similar to, or different from the Elites, they're not pegs that go in. It's a hole. So I'm guessing the pegs are on his wrist. And here is the figure wrapped in a little bit of plastic with the cape, the awesome cape. I'm going to put the hands down for a moment. And let's see if we can get this off of here. So it looks like the cape just kind of fits over his head just a little bit. Let's see with the mask and the hair. Oh, cool. It folds a little bit in the back, so I can kind of maneuver this off of him. Really cool cape. The head looks like it moves a lot too. So it looks like the head pops off. So I can get this plastic off of here. Would have made it easier for the cape too to get the head off of there. But here we go. So, what's up with this figure? Well, we've got, of course, the head rotation. It looks like the it's not an ab crunch per se, but it looks like the torso is 3 pieces. So you have this upper movement and then the lower movement at the waist. Elbows are double jointed elbows. Shoulders pop off. Not a thing I expected, but everything pops right back on pretty easily. So I guess depending on how you pose it, I definitely don't think that that is like a quote-unquote break per se, but you can see in here, it's actually almost like 3 pieces, which is pretty neat. You can see here there's like a little movement in this back shoulder area, and then the arm moves, and then you have that double jointed elbow. Legs. So there is no hip swivel. Just one thing to keep in mind, but it does look like the legs kind of go up, down, left, right, so they ball, and then of course double jointed knees. And then the feet, you have the good old ankle rocker. So that's cool. All right. So now you can see here there's the gauntlet that he wears that goes into the wrist. So I'm going to just take a hand and let me see if I can do my left from my right. Yeah, that's probably the hand I'm going to use anyway. So hands pop right off. You can see here the peg is on his wrist. So Hands pop on and off super easy. And then you get an actual ball at the wrist, so it's a cool little wrist ball joint. So depending on how you want to pose him, you can kind of maneuver him around. Cool little side. You can kind of swivel the I guess his waist or his torso. This is a really cool figure. This is super nice. Lots of detail. You can see the detail in the back of the mask, which is awesome, that goes through his hair. Really cool piece of detail there. The elbows and everything make it super easy too. I actually think I put his arm back on better than it was out of the box. But Storm Collectibles really crushed it on this one. This is a really cool figure. Oh, wow. You get a little kind of toe joint there, which is pretty neat. So lots of really cool detail. And so if I wanted to do like the main Liger pose, you could. I think I might have it backwards, but that's okay. Yeah, I do. I have it backwards. He's supposed to have the other arm out. But that's okay. Really great figure. I'm very happy that I got it. Definitely a little bit more expensive than your WWE Elite figures. This runs you about $60, but definitely a lot in there for it. And what's really cool with the cape that I'm going to show you with the cape off is there's wire in the border of the cape, so you can actually bend it to make it look like it's flowing, which is really neat. Lots of detail in the cape too, nice and sparkly, very cool. Now of course there are a couple different versions out there. There's the ringside exclusive, which is the black and gold Liger. There was another exclusive that was blue and white, but this is really the classic look for Jushin Thunder Liger. And one of the photos you'll see as part of this, as part of like with the scaling, is I'm just gonna bust them out right now. Kind of memories of the first episode of Nitro, where you have Brian Pillman and Jushin Thunder Liger. And it scales pretty good, I'm gonna say. I think Liger's a little bit thicker, but I think he is in general anyway. So he's definitely a bit wider, but that's okay. I think it works out. So that is the Storm Collectibles Jushin Thunder Liger figure. As always, well, actually not as always, since this is my first unboxing video, but I'm going to point roughly to this general area, which is where you'll be able to follow us at AIC_podcast. No. Yeah, leave it in. So this is right here is where you're going to be able to follow us at AIC_podcast on all the social medias.
I've been off screen the whole time.
Eric's been off screen the whole time. He'll decide what to do with that. So, anywho, this has been Dave, and we'll see you next time. Bye.